Hey, a few of you would ask that I create a how-to video for our guided project this week. So go ahead and go into SimNet, find the right class. This is for Spreadsheet Essentials, Excel. We are in week 6. We have 3 assignments. This video is for guided project 3-3. Print your instructions if you need to, and go ahead and start your file. Don't forget to enable editing and save to your desktop or your thumb drive. Let's take a look at our surroundings. We have two sheets, worksheets if you will, in our workbook. The Atlanta revenue by week is for Blue Lake Sports. We are looking at the first month in quarter 1, so January sales in the town of Atlanta. We have different departments that we're looking at that are making money, bringing in some revenue. And so week 1, you see, and then we have 4 weeks, a total column, which is an F, and you can see that there are formulas already embedded and used. And then in row 19, we have a total row for those total columns there. Click into revenue by department. Now we have the first quarter sales by city, and we've got Atlanta, Boston, Chicago, San Diego, St. Louis. In column G, we have a total for each of the departments in the row. And then in row 19, we have totals that already have the formulas for each of the columns for those cities. In number 3, it says select the revenue by department tab. Create a pie chart by selecting cells A4 to F4. So for those that were struggling in class a little bit on Monday night, left click in column or in the range A4 and left click and hold it down till you get to F4. Then release your left click, hold down your control and go and click on A13, hold down control and your left click on your mouse till you get to F13 and release both. The control, that is, your control key, and your left click of the mouse. Click the recommended charts button and click the pie. Notice that we only have 3 recommended charts. We have so little data that we're looking to make a chart out of. That's why there's only 3 recommended charts. Click the chart object if you need to, and then click the More button. That's in the Chart Tools Design tab, Chart Styles group, and we want Style 12. Drag the object over to A21. The top left corner should be right at A21. And then you are going to click and select the bottom right selection handle and go over to G and then down to 36. If you need to, select the chart, again, the pie chart, click the Change Chart Type button, which is in Chart Tools, Design tab, Type Group. Click All Charts tab, and then the pie on the left pane, and now choose 3D, and then click OK. Double-click the pie to open the Format Data Series pane. And you can tell that you have the entire pie selected because of the selection buttons going around. Click the Atlanta slice. Atlanta's in blue. Click the Series Option button. Set the pie explosion percentage to 10. In your instructions, it says pie explosion. In your Excel spreadsheet, on the Format Data Point pane, it says Point Explosion. Same thing. Go ahead now and close that task pane, and then click the chart area to deselect the Atlanta slice. Select the chart object if necessary. Well, you don't need to. It just told us to select it and click somewhere on there. So you should have that. Make sure you don't have just the plot area or the pie area, that you've got the entire chart. And now let's click the Chart Elements button at the top right corner of the chart. So Chart Elements. And you are going to want to go ahead and click the Data Labels checkbox. And notice what happened. It actually gave us values for data labels, but let's change those. So go ahead and go over to the submenu, and let's choose More Options. And in the Format Data Labels task pane, click the Label Option buttons if necessary. I don't need to. Mine is actually defaulted and popped open. And that would be this. And then F is the click the labels options to expand the menu if you need to. Then click percentage. Go ahead and select it. Now you'll notice that not only do we have values, but we have percentage in the pie. That looks a little weird, so let's clear the value. So clear the value checkbox, and then go ahead and close up the task pane. So now you see that we just have percentages in there, but it's kind of hard to see. So while the data labels are selected, press Control B to apply bold, and let's change the font size to 12. So now it's a little easier to see. Click your worksheet cell to deselect the data labels and click the chart object to select it. Important, be sure to select the chart area when completing the following steps and not the smaller, which is in here, plot area. Just the chart object. So K says click the Shape Outline button drop-down arrow. So Chart Tools, Format, Shape Outline, and choose the purple accent for darker 50%. Click the Shape Outline drop-down arrow again and choose Weight, and then we want 1 point. When I click over in the worksheet and deselect this pie object, you can see that I've now have this purple weighted 1 point dark line going around. Okay, that's it on that. Let's go to the Atlanta Revenue by Week Worksheet tab. Select columns or select cells A4 to E7. And let's click the Quick Analysis button and choose Charts. And let's select Line. Let's move the chart. And let's create a new sheet. And let's name it Promo Departments. And then OK. To ensure accurate grading, you must complete step 10 correctly in order to receive points for completing the next steps. Check your work carefully. Number 11 says apply a chart layout. Okay, so I'm going to go a little bit slower here. Select the chart sheet if necessary, which you don't need to. Click the Quick Layout button located in Chart Tools, Design tab in the Chart Layout group, and select Layout 5. And these are in order, and if you hover, you'll see the name. Change the chart type. Now, here's the type. Right-click the Promo Departments, and change and select the change chart type. On the All Charts tab, choose Line with Markers in the line category, and then click OK. Now we're going to edit the chart elements in a line chart. So click the chart title placeholder. It's the first thing we're going to do, and we are going to type a new title. I did talk about this briefly in class on Monday evening, that clicking the chart title once puts you up into the formula bar, and all you have to do is just start typing what they want you to type. So cells for promotion departments, and then you would just either press your enter key on your keypad, or you can click the enter check mark. Either way gets you there, and then your title has been changed. Let's click the vertical axis title placeholder, and let's change that to, looks like dollar cells. And then now after you have that done, click the chart elements drop down arrow again, and it looks like it wants us to choose apparel. So let's go back. The chart elements drop down arrow is in the chart tools. All right, we want to go to format, and then in the current selection, the chart element button drop down is right there, and you want to choose series apparel. And what this has done is it has selected this line in our chart. Let's do something to that now. Click the format selection that is in your chart tools, format tab, current selection group, so format selection. What this does is it opens up our format data series. So choose the bucket, which is the fill in line button. Right now I defaulted to my line, but we want to choose maker. So go to your maker and then click maker options, and we want to click built-in radio button and change our size to 10. While I'm changing mine to 10, I will use my up arrow, but I also want you to look at this line here for apparel as I'm taking that to 10. You can see that it's getting thicker and larger. It just makes it pop out a little bit more. Now click the series option triangle and choose baseball to select that data series. Make the same marker changes for the baseball series. So marker, built-in, and we're going to go to 10. Select the basketball series, and again make sure that you are underneath your fill and line marker, built-in, and we're going to take that one and make that a size 10. Click the task pane, or close the task pane and select the chart area. So close the task pane and then select the chart area. Now we're going to insert Sparklines in Worksheet. Click the Atlanta Revenue by Week Sheet tab, right-click Column F, and choose Insert to insert a new column. Select cells B5 to E18. So we don't need the actual heading here. We need our department and then the value so that we can insert some Sparklines here. Click the Line Sparkline button, Insert tab, Sparklines group, and you want Line Sparkline, and then we have a dialog box that pops up. Our range is A5 to E8. That's the data range, excuse me. But now we want to choose where we want the sparklines to be placed. What's the location range? We want F5 to F18. And notice, and we talked about this briefly, that it's absolute. We absolutely want this to change, but this has to be relative to change. So click OK. Click the Format button, because we're going to do some formatting to these. So go Home, in the Cells group, Format, and let's set the row height to 24. Press Enter. Click the Format button again and set the column width to 35 and say OK. Click to place a check mark for markers and the Show Group and the Sparkline Tools Design tab. So again, that is click to place a check mark for markers and the Show Group. So Sparkline Design, Show Group, Markers. Now you're going to click the Sparkline Color button. That's Sparklines Design tab, Style Group. So Sparkline Color, open up your Sparkline Color. Select Black, Text 1 for the line color. And now we're going to change the page orientation to landscape. And all you have to do is save your work, and let's close it. Before I forget, the reason why we wanted to change that color is to really make those line markers, which are red, pop out just a little bit more. So that's definitely a nice feature. And go ahead and close that. And let's upload our file. Let's see what we got. So chapter 3, and this was the Blue Lake Sports. So if you get stuck this week, don't forget to use the Ask Dr. Barnes a Question tab. And I did get a 96%, and that's probably because I forgot to do one quick thing, and that was select cells B5 to E18, and that was on question 14. I did miss that, so be careful. So make sure that you do select your Sparklines worksheet and have the data range A5 to E18 and then B5 to E18. Not a big deal. I've done it before and got 100, but it's probably because I'm lecturing. So if you run into problems, let me know. Use the Ask My Instructor tab and you should be fine. All right, good luck you guys. Have a great week.